Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Arina binti Bahtiar. My metric number is 272846. So today I would like to present one of the topic in international logistics subject, which is chapter 4. It's international commercial document. So there are a few international commercial documents which is documentation requirements, invoices, export documents, import document, transportation documents, electronic data, intercharge, which is EDI, and also document preparation as marketing tools. So first, I'll explain about the documentation requirement. The documentation requirement is international shipment which require many different type of document, and it also depends on the country of destination, the type of goods, the method of the transportation, and also the method of payment. And this documentation must contain very detailed information and a very specific statement about the product and also the shipment. Next is invoices. Commercial invoice, which refer to a specific shipment, and it tell exactly what the importer is billed for. It must include the customary information such as name, address, and the term of payment, the currency of payment, the term of trade, which is intercom, and also the complete shipping information and the others. So here's the example of commercial invoice that they use. There is a description, the unit price, currency, total amount, invoice number, and also invoice date. Next is pro forma invoice. Pro forma invoice is not an invoice, but it's a code, which this code must be careful written because if it is used to obtain a letter of credit, it should match the actual invoice exactly to avoid discrepancies. About the consular invoice, it's necessary for export to decreasing number of Latin America countries, and commercial invoice print on stationery on importing countries consulate and stamp by consulate. It also considered a trade barrier. So now we move on to export document. Export document, which also known as export licence. Export licence is the express authorization by a country's government to export a specific product before it is shipped. Reason for a country requiring an export license is government is trying to exert some control over foreign trade for political or military reason. Government is attempting to control the export of natural resources. Government is attempting to control the export of national treasure or ethic. So you guys can see here, this is the example of the export license. Moreover, there is import document, which importing countries require certain document in order to ensure that no shoddy quality goods are imported, help determine the appropriate tariff classification, help determine the correct value of import goods, help determine the correct country of origin for tariff purpose, and also protect importers from fraudulent exporters. So now let's move to transportation document. Transportation document, which is such as bill of lading, is a generic term used to describe a document issued by the carrier to the shipper. A bill of lading is a contract between the carrier and also the shipper. The carrier agreed to transport the goods from point to origin to point of destination for a given amount. It has a receipt and also the certificate of titles. There is a few different type of bill of lading, which ocean bill of lading, airway bill, uniform bill of lading, and also intermodal bill of lading. This type of bill of lading is under transportation document, which have the different function, also different type. So this two is the example for bill of lading under transportation document. This one is ocean bill of lading, and this one is the international airway bill. Electronic data interchange, which is a method to send document such as invoice, certificate, packing list, and so on from one company to another using electronic means. EDI is different from fax, where in that it does not transfer a copy of sheet like a paper, but it sends the information that contain in digital form, which is used by the recipient to create a document. Lastly, document preparation as a marketing tool, where the pro forma invoice is a perfect preview of the actual invoice. The commercial invoice is clear, detailed, and also precious. All required certificate are provided right away, and the correct number of original and copy of multitude of documents are prepared and delivered to the importer. The packing list is prepared carefully and preciously. And lastly, the export paperwork is prepared and filled correctly and it's a timely manner. That's all for me. Thank you.